I'm just logging into the ALM app. As you can see, this is the home page. This is where you come in. So we don't need to worry about this my home page or management. These two things we don't need to worry about for now. And so the first objective is you would need to load the requirements. So typically the general process, leaving the EDICO process aside, the general process that's being followed everywhere is once we got the high level scenarios that's been defined, that is where we load the high level scenarios under the requirements. Okay. So in here, this is how you get it loaded, but we didn't, from the EDICO perspective, we didn't load any high level scenarios here. Okay, because as I said, like first of all, we don't even have the high level scenarios provided. But typically the process to follow is first you should import the requirements. Okay, so if you take an example of SIT here, as you can see, you've got requirements already being extracted. From here, you go to the testing tab, and under the test tab, you plan your test resources. Okay, so the test resources are nothing but how many people you were going to have and how are you going to execute them. Okay, but typically, like if this is for the internal, I mean, like this is for the test manager perspective only. The actual part comes from test plan onwards. Okay, so this is the parent folder, and under that we do have multiple subfolders based on the program you are going to execute. Okay, so typically these are the current projects which are currently running in the ALM. You have like a test scripts assigned per individual. So if you just keep extending it, you would be able to extract the information. How many test scripts were loaded by folder, by section wise. Okay, so if you look at the transfer promotion with page change, under that you do have like 3 steps. Login, HR admin reviews and updates the data, and then it goes to the HR admin, initiate the transfer process. And then the next one is going to be the transfer process. Okay, it is going to directly load everything in this manner. For an example sake, I'm going to show you one. But as I just said, like the exporting is not a major part, the formatting is a major part. And then the exporting is absolute easy because the way I have formatted is the headings will be auto mapped, okay, by the ALM itself. So all we need to do is we just need to make sure that we've got a proper format in place. Okay, all these fields, this type, designer, program, the subject, and path. Path is where we want to load this particular test case. So as you give the path, that is where it loads. If you look at, if you just compare it, it is nothing but the space where you want to load it. Okay, so this is where the path comes in and followed by steps, whatever the steps you want to follow, and then test name. In here, one thing that is something we have to make sure is we can't the sequential number. It has to go from 0 1. It cannot go just 1, okay, or 10, because the problem is if you just make it 1 and then 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, the sequence gets changed and then 10 will be coming under 1. So when you're actually formatting the things, you need to make sure that these things goes 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 4 0 5 10. So and followed by the description, which is this description is a prerequisite as well. Okay, so but we don't have any prerequisite fields available, so I made it a description so that when people looking into the description space, they would be able to understand what is a prerequisite. And then the step-by-step description. This would pretty much a navigation. Where you need to go, what to do, what to click, sort of thing. And then the expected result and the execution result. The problem with the execution result is we can't upload the bulk execution results, and system won't take it. So you have to do it one after the other manually in the ALM. You can't actually upload it. Okay, but then you can actually upload the comments. The comments, whatever the comments you want to provide, you can upload them. Okay, but one another thing you guys need to remember is in order to actually get this imported, we should have a plugin and add-in. So now the next task is to actually do the mapping. Okay, I have already done the mapping, but I'm just going to show you how to do the mapping. All right, so we just select the headers and then we just go for the mapping. Okay. And in here, you get an entry criteria or what are you actually uploading? Requirements, defects, or test. In here, we are uploading the test. Okay. So we just click on test. And then these are the ALM fields and these are the mandatory fields. I have already defaulted the mapping, so we don't need to worry about much. We just click on auto mapping. Okay. And then it is going to ask you specify the number, row number in Excel where the fields labels appear. So when you are doing an import, you don't want to import the field name. If you have more than one field, you can just keep extending it like this. But for more than one row, you can keep extending it. But in here, we only have one row as a header. So I just make it to one row, the first row as a header. So I just make it to the one, and then all the fields were auto populated here. Okay. In case if you want to change it, okay, you cannot give the name of the field. Let's say I have I here and it is description design steps. And if I go here description design test and I don't want to I don't want that. You cannot actually type anything. In here, you should be providing the Excel column name. In here it is I, so that's why I'm giving it I here. Okay, if you want to make it to H, you give it H. Okay, but in here I've mapped it to the I, so I'm just giving it I. Okay, so if you save it, that will be automatically saved. So every time when you what do you call it, when you want to jump onto the ALM, or let's say today I've done some changes in this Excel file. Maybe I've done some 10 test scripts or something like that. Okay, and then do you want to close the window? So let's say today I've done it like 10 test cases has been completed. And tomorrow I've come back and I want to pick where I left. But I don't want to do the mapping again and again and every time. So that's why you just go on to the mapping and then just select the test and then auto map it and then OK. And then you just save it. So the moment you save it, it is going to ask you where do you want to save, and then you can just save it wherever you want, and you would be using that particular Excel to upload it automatically as and when needed. But for now, I'm not saving it because I don't need it. So I'm just making it as OK. And that once you said OK, it is going to adjust the formats. Perhaps you might have noticed there was some adjustment that has just happened in terms of a page size wise. Okay. And the next thing is to validate. Okay. So in order to validate, I mean, the reason why we want to validate is, let's say if I directly click on upload to ALM, yes, it will upload some information. But if there are any errors or anything, it's going to ignore them. And then let's say I've got 10 test scripts from 1 to 10. And then if I just click on upload to ALM, it is going to upload where the test scripts has passed. I mean, like which are in the format. Let's say 1 to 5 is in the format, 5 to 10 is not in the format. So at that particular stage, what's going to happen is like we would have 1 to 5 and then we lose 5 to 10. If it is a sequential thing, we can identify it. But let's say sometimes we have one as in the proper format, two, three are not in the format, and again four in the format, something like that. And at that particular time, if you make it an upload to ALM, it will import everything. So it is always a best practice to actually validate whatever the content you want to upload. Okay. So if let's say I want to upload from here, okay, we are not selecting the row number one because that is a header, and we have mentioned when we are doing the mapping that we don't want one because one is a header. Let's say now I've got okay. So now in here I came in till here, and then I want to import two test cases. Okay. So if you look at here, this is the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this one has got 10 steps. So I want to import this one first. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select whatever I want to import, and then I'm going to select it until comments. This is the comments column, if you remember. Okay, and then I'm just going to click on validate. It is going to do some back-end work, and then it is going to confirm us whether the validation has passed or not. As you can see, it just mentioned that the validation has passed. So you click on OK, and then now you click on upload to ALM. It will take like 2 to 3 minutes time, and then it will be uploaded into the ALM. We have come back here, and if you see in here, as you can see, nothing has been loaded. You always need to refresh once the load has been completed, and that is when it is going to tell. Now, if you see here, we got day one. Okay, day one was not there earlier, and this test case is something what we have selected has got a day one. Okay, so I'm just going to click on that expand, and then as you can see, the second folder has all auto populated as DUU May, DUU Anna, and then the third one is position management. Okay, and then under that you have a test script, which just go to sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is how you actually load the or import the test script into the ALM.